basic lines of inspiration. It's very much a you remember, it's very much a King Arthur, after King Arthur inspired England. I've taken a lot of liberties with the documented history, complete real truth of King Arthur, to make this work. But yes, it's set after King Arthur. It's called The Sword That Was in the Stone. Dave, if I've set him up correctly, does have the sword hilt. And he should also have his helping hand boon. Actually, the helping hand boon would have given him an XP, which would make him level 1. We'll do that. I don't know how I want to play Dave, though, at the moment. So, but we will level him up. But yes, when the sword in the stone was again, I'm not trying to do anything fancy. When the sword in the stone was removed, a evil force was released from the stone to not necessarily put the force back, but to stop it getting even worse. We need to put the sword back in the stone. Problem being, the sword is in many pieces. No one knows where those pieces are. Dave, I believe I described him in the intro video as a feckless youth. He's a young elf. I mean, I say young, I think he's meant to be about 25. Which for an elf probably would be very young. But anyway, let's not get bogged down in ages and all that kind of nonsense. He's a young elf. He's coming from the mystical island of Avalon. He found the hilt by accident, but he has now been sent on this quest by the lady in the sword. There are a lot of ladies in various places in this story. I may have gone with the lady in the lake motif and kind of just went running with it. And where else could I put a lady? Again, this is again sounding like terrible pickup lines. But it probably isn't. And yeah, so we have the hilt. We've been sent on this quest. We are looking for Merlin, because of course we are. We have sounding more and more like in we have no other directions. We do not know where Merlin is. We don't know how we can find out where Merlin is. This we will be doing this all by rolls. And
don't sass me.
Yeah, I think that probably about covers where we are. As all great adventures, as we all know, all great RPGs have to start on a boat. Luckily for LP, I made it a very small boat this time. And nothing very eventful happened on the boat trip. We just sailed over from Avalon and we have landed. And I can show you where we landed. We have landed here on Corbinic. Not the... Hey, cheers for the lurk, Rydog, and I hope everything goes well. Of which Dave, and we are playing as Dave, and we are approaching all of this as Dave. We know nothing about. Also, Dave, you should be over here. You're probably the wrong Dave now, so let's drag Dave back down onto the world map. Let's get rid of fake Dave. And why didn't your token? Oh, that worked. That worked an absolute treat. Alright, what if I do this one? There we go. All right, so David landed on the boat. He's landed on the dock. It is, I don't know. How many times a day are there? Would you say, what, morning, afternoon, and night? Let's make it 4. And I don't know what the 4th time's going to be. All right, we rolled a 1. So it's nighttime. And then we should be seeing what Dave can see. So we are based on Shadowdark rules. Darkness is incredibly important. We're going to ease into that. So technically right now, Dave can't see anything. I believe he did roll into a torch, which we will set burning so we can at least see where we're going. We've only got the 1 torch though, so we have to remember that. It's so nice to be able to see again. That's what Dave was saying after he lit his torch. So yes, he's landed on this beach. He's landed at this pier. He knows he has to find Merlin. He has no idea how he is going to do that. And yeah, he's also, he's not even a little bit of an idiot. He is very much an idiot. I mean, he's a Dave, right? So you don't fall on these glasses this time. Yeah, I should really look at getting new glasses again as well. It's got to be a few years since I went and got these after my old ones completely broke and I had to hold them together with sellotape. But what I've noticed with these ones is the lenses for scratches have been fucking awful. Oh dear. Because yeah, like right now there's a massive scratch on this lens, which I can't get rid of. Which just makes it look like it's constantly dirty and it bugs me. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Okay, so we leave the boat. We're going to approach the gates. Are the gates locked? No. Okay. Are the gates guarded? No. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. Well, I mean, these probably don't have handles, right? What we could do is we could do a check to see if they push or pull. Firmware with cheap and good quality, and they do the blue light protection like Ultra One. It does make the lenses a yellow tinge, but you didn't get headaches from gaming using PC like you normally do. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. All right. Okay, so we're gonna try and pull. We're gonna try and pull open the gates. There's really no reason to do a roll here, but just so I get comfortable doing rolls. What do I roll for a strength? You can just look at the hinges. Yeah. You're giving Dave too much credit if you think he's going to be looking at hinges. Oh dear. Right, we actually rolled a 20. We'll roll a 20 against them. Okay. We win. We open the gate. Oh, what fun. All right, so we open the gate. We're going to walk into the village. Are there guards on the inside of the gate? An extreme no. Oh, shit. Okay. So not... Are there dead guards inside the gate? Yes, but... Okay, so we walk in and we discover 2 dead guards. I'm not going to drop them down onto the map because I cannot be bothered. All right, but we have discovered... I kind of need to throw this over here. All right. How
many guards? How many dead guards are there? We're not going to want too many, so we'll just roll a d4. 3 dead guards. Oh, you piece of shit, Pen. You've been working all day until I actually need you to. What are you, Dave? Alright.
How is Dave going to react to these? Okay, so is there anyone else around the guards? No, but okay, so there's 3 dead guards. We already have a but. All right, so what's going to be the but? There's 3 dead guards. Are the corpses intact? Yes, but okay, the corpses are intact. So there's 3 dead corpses. They haven't been mutilated. Okay, is there a blood trail? No. What was this question for? All right, so we've got 3 dead guards. Body's intact. No blood trail. Is there any blood? Yes. Well, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. So we're trying to do a solo tabletop RPG, right? I don't want to have written everything that happens. That's kind of, I don't think I would find that fun. Now, having said that, would I like to write kind of like a solo focused RPG adventure module? Yes, I would, but I've got to get the second book out first. Also, I should have been writing down the question so I could remember what the fuck I asked. Because I'm getting distracted. Okay, there is blood. But there's no blood trail. And then I think we need to do a Constitution throw. We're going to see if Dave... Oh my god, we actually just rolled a crit, so we do not have to roll against it. Okay, so not only does Dave not panic, He is incredibly cool, calm, and collected, which is very, very, very unlike Dave. A crit would again give him an XP. We're going to have to level him up into something, even though I don't quite know what I think when I rolled him, though, he wants to become ranged. I do not know the classes of Shadowdark that well. Oh, you didn't go to the start. That's why that all looked wrong. Okay, so we probably just want to become a fighter, and we'll choose. All right. I think we'd probably rather be dexterous than strength based this time. And we'll go for. We don't have a bow. Oh, good. Such great hit points. What is our constitution like? It wasn't bad, right? Yeah, all right, we'll do +2 to dex. And then we're going to give us 1 XP for a critical roll. At the moment, we can only attack with the sword hilt because that's all we have. It's not good damage. Doesn't really do a lot for us. All right, so we got these 3 dead corpses. There is blood, so something is clearly going on in the village. Do we hear any sounds of fighting? No. Okay, so whatever has happened to the guards is clearly over or not known. Okay, interesting. Do we see any fire or smoke? An extreme yes. Okay, so something is on fire. All right, let's drop out Day's view for a second. All right, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so we'll do a D12. Oh shit, I need to do alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this place is on fire. I do not believe I have any easy way of showing that. We're gonna have to draw. Okay, if that house is on fire, it was an extreme yes. So we're gonna roll D12 again. Oh, number 4 is also on fire. That makes sense because it's next door. Okay, you would have to imagine then that if there's a fire, people are going to be out trying to fight it. No, I'm still drawing. I don't want to be drawing. Oh yeah, that's right. You're a character, so you have to obey by the laws of physics. Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer. So let's turn on Guild Master lighting so I can see what's going on. So you'd probably be out. Tavern guy would also probably be out. The only other one we put in here is the blacksmith. No, I'm going to keep you down here because you're a grumpy little bastard. And then everyone else we're going to imagine is there using the power of imagination. Okay, so we've got 3 dead guards. We've got 2 buildings on fire. We are incredibly cool and calm and collected about the bodies. We don't see a blood trail. We don't see anyone around them. We don't see any monsters or anything. So we don't know what attacked them, what killed them. We've seen the fires, or we smell the fires. So we are going to make our way towards the fires. As we make our way to the fires, I've forgotten your name already. Marina approaches us. While the baker and the tavern owner try to put the fires out. Because why not? Alright, did I make any notes about you? I did. Okay, but her most important thing right now is going to be the fires. Beautiful handwriting there for the fire. I know, right? Okay, let's do a... Now I know in this you can also do a coin flip, but I can't remember how to do it. So we're just... All right, 2. Okay. Marina approaches us. She is very suspicious. She's very agitated. Is her weapon drawn? An extreme no. Okay, so even though she is annoyed, agitated, flustered, busy, her weapon is still strapped to her back. She probably looks at us with a huge amount of disdain. We are a tiny little elf who is very suspiciously in her village, and it is clearly under some kind of attack, although we don't know what it is. She approaches us and she shouts, "You there! I sent the guards down to get some water. Have you seen them?" Now, we have seen them because we know they're dead. Are we going to tell her the truth? There's no reason not to tell her the truth. That would just make us more suspicious of us. So I'm hoping we are going to tell her the truth. Yeah. Oh God, but there's a but. Okay, we're going to tell her that we seen them, but we're not necessarily going to let on that they're dead at this stage. Don't know why we wouldn't. But we got to go with the prompt. So for some reason, we're keeping information. Okay, but looks like we would win any kind of charisma check if we need to do one. Dear. Okay, so yes. We replied to her. We saw the guards down by the gate. Just out of interest, can I... This has got nothing to do with anything. This is purely just me. Can we make it look like a 5? We've got a... A swirling rainbow. A lot of rainbows. Okay, there's probably inside anyway. Because of the walls, that doesn't really matter. Okay, we also don't know that the tavern guy is here quite yet. He said yes, but I really want to tell her that they're dead. Because she's clearly going to find out. But we got to go with the rolls. We got to go with the rolls. Also, my pen is already leaking. Good pen. Stupid pens. Okay, so she's going to reply to us. Well, I wonder where they are with the water, because, I mean, there must be a freshwater source, but we're going to be trying to use seawater to put these fires out. And she orders us to follow her because we're going to go get what? Okay, we're going to be in trouble straight away. I really hope we don't die in this village because Marina swings at us. We do as we're told, and we follow her down. But of course, she is now going to find the bodies. She is now very suspicious of us because we didn't tell her they were dead. So she turns to us. She, even though it's not physically possible, she grabs her great big warhammer, which she had strapped to her back, and she's now pointing at us. This isn't going well. I feel we might be killed by a knight in the round table within the first 20 minutes. Stupid Dave. All right, so she sees them. She is going to be shocked. She's going to be suspicious. And she's going to ask us, did we kill these 3 guards? Which we obviously didn't. So I'm still going to roll on the oracle because we may lie. I really hope we don't. I'm going to make it an unlikely that it's a yes to give us the best chance that we just say no, but still going to roll. You fucker. So she asked us, did you murder these guards? And we're now going to say yes. butt. Oh, Dave, you idiot. What have you got yourself into? We didn't murder them. All right, so Dave, the absolute moron, is responding to this very tall, very muscular woman decked out in knight's armor with a great big two-handed warhammer pointed at his face. Is going to try and be sarcastic. That's what I'm taking the butt to mean. All right. And we're going to have to probably try and beat this with a charisma roll. So we're going to say, yes, obviously I murdered them. That's why I'm covered in blood and came right to you. You better do a better charisma roll than she does. All right. Oh God, we just rolled a 4. Ah, shit. And they rolled a 12. They did not take our sarcasm well. Did not take our sarcasm well at all. Hope you rolled another character. Okay, she is not going. She's gonna slap us. Fucking Dave. Dave the idiot trying to be sarcastic. Come on. You're better with long range weapons and you don't really have a weapon. You've just got the hilt of a sword you're gonna try and pummel somebody to death with. You're pissing off the first person you meet. Leave the sarcasm to the professionals. Fucking Dave, I tell you, fucking Dave. All right, so she's gonna come stand right next to us, and she's going to attempt to slap us. So this is going to be a strength check. So please don't get a critical success. Okay, good. All right, so we need to try and beat a 15. Okay, so she tried to slap us. We hold up our hand and we catch her. She doesn't seem like a slapper. I didn't mean it in that way. I think she would more probably try to punch us with her gauntleted fists. She comes in for a swing. We hold up our feeble elven arms, and somehow we grab her arm and we stop the punch. We're not dead yet, chat. We're not dead yet. Although I can't imagine that she's going to appreciate having her punch stopped by a feeble-looking elven boy. He was trying to be sarcastic over the point of murder. But it's probably fine. Let's not worry about it. All right, so now take the Beatum. We've stopped it. I don't think we want to do anything else. I don't think we want to try and like be fancy and like twirl around, like twist her arm around her back and hold her in place. I think the best thing we can do is just have stopped it and try and diffuse the situation. Hey, Ryla. Welcome. Hope you're doing well, and thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. How are we going to try and diffuse that situation? Okay, we're going to say to her, look, I was clearly being sarcastic. I'm not going to apologize for it because Dave doesn't seem like the kind of person who would. I was clearly being sarcastic. I did not murder my wife. I mean, these 3 guards. And we should get water so we can put the fires out. That's got to be priority number 1. We're again going to do charisma checks. All right. And we're going to win this time, Dave. We're going to win. Okay, 19. That's pretty good. In fact, we can't lose, so I like it. Okay, so we use our charisma. Apparently, Dave's going to be a little bit trying to charm people. Charm people, and is fairly strong in his very... We probably should have tried to do a deck save on that strength one to try and dodge it, but we didn't. We used our strength. Our feeble elven strength. It was the one-armed man. She lets her guard down. She's clearly not happy with us. Clearly not happy with us at all. But she agrees. We have to get water. We have to try and put the fires out. And then we're going to have to circle back about these guards who have been murdered. Okay, so we head down. I'm not going to do dice rolls for everything. So we head down. We got some buckets. I'm pretty strong. I said I'm not going to do dice rolls for everything. We try, and we're going to try and impress her. We've pissed her off. We were sarcastic about murder. We've stopped her punch. Now, I feel she would appreciate strength. So I feel the actual stopping a punch would kind of make our kind of point system go up under her a little bit. I'm going to go off topic for a little bit here. I think if I was going to design a role-playing system from scratch, I think having like a... kind of like they do in Baldur's Gate 3, and I think actually D&D does have a system for this. Having like a how much they like you track, I think would be really interesting. Not for love. Well, I mean, I don't know. Sex does sell, so maybe you should be able to get to that level as well. Call her a real slapper. But yes, okay, so we think she is impressed by strength. We're going to try and use that. Kind of like how in Professor Game, everyone hated that. Yeah, that kind of idea, right? I think being able to do something like that, being able to track something like that would be fairly interesting. And then probably being able to do like a random how much they let you to begin with kind of thing. Like she would have been suspicious of us from the get-go. I feel like if we hadn't stopped the punch, we'd be in deep trouble right now. Stop the punch and then charmed her a little bit, right? But we're not. So we've headed down here. We're grabbing some water. She has grabbed... Oh, just one bucket? Come on, you can do better than that. We're going to try and grab 6. Six full buckets of water. There we go. I think if you blocked an attack instead of dodging it, they would think more highly of you, surely. Yes, right. And we blocked it. Like we just grabbed her fist in midair and just stopped the punch completely. It's fucking lucky that we did that. But oh, we also got a critical success again. So that means we got 1 more XP. Hooray! All right, out of the 6, how many make it? 2. All right. So we've We've scooped up 6 buckets of water, and then we try to lift them up, and we fail. Highly embarrassed. Marina looks at us and scoffs. She is not impressed by this ridiculous, stupid display of strength, which we have not managed to achieve. We then go down to 5, 4, 3 buckets, and we still cannot lift them. We get to 2, 1 in each hand, a little browbeaten grimace on our face, and then we head back up. However, now what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and use our dexterity to make up for our incredibly bad roll on that. So we can only do 2 buckets at a time, and Marina can only do 1. We both head up with our buckets. We're going to need many more buckets. And I don't want you to be grouped anymore. There you go. Marina's going to stay. And she orders us down to get more buckets. So we're now going to try and impress her with our speed. Right. We also probably have to try and work out how quickly this fire is burning. So let's say the fire spreads every 3rd turn. The way distances are measured in Shadowdark are just like ridiculously, rather than just giving you a distance, they give you a name for it. All right, we are going to say there's 2 turns. It is no, that's the wrong one. I just want to measure something. Yeah. It is about 120 feet to the river and back. Per turn, I believe you should be able to travel 15. We're going to try and use our dexterity roll. So if we just do a... because we're rolling against... okay, the world got a 2. So as long as we can beat a 2, we can say we can double that movement. And then we may try again and see if we can triple it. So we're going to do a dex roll. Okay, we got a 7. Okay, so we can now do... we got every 3rd turn, and to get there and back, you would need to be doing basically 120 per turn if we want to try and get ahead of the fire. So we're going to have to try and push this. Okay, so we're up to 30. No, go away. I don't want these. All right. Okay, I'm pretty sure we can beat a 4. Oh, look at all these crits we're getting. We won't get them when we're in a fight and it's a life or death situation, but hey, we're getting them. All right, so that's a critical success. We went from 15 to 30. That should have taken us to 60 because it was a crit. We'll do 120, which means we can now do 100. So we can basically get there and back in 2 turns. Do we try and push it so we can get there and back in 1 turn? If I say yes to the roll, we have to make it. I can't just roll and then decide if I want to attack it based on what they get. And then what are going to be the repercussions if I fail? I think we're just going to stick to, we can now do it there and back in 2 turns. We can bring 2 buckets. A bucket will put out... Ah, you bastard. 1 square of fire per turn. So then... And we don't know how much the fire expands per turn yet. Alright, so if that's on fire, we probably have to put all these squares out. And we've probably got a little bit of a buffer zone depending on... Okay, so a fire spreads... Okay, only one thing per turn. So then logically... Can we use logic? We would want to go 105 feet and then 85 feet. And we're doing 120 per turn, so we would get down there. We would get to about there. Oh no, because I mean it can also spread down here, and we'd have to decide which direction it's going to spread. I don't know how we're going to do that yet. But we will have to do that. Okay, so we're going to run there and back in 2 turns. We're going to put out... Can I make you big and smaller? I can. All right, we're going to put out that bit of fire. Can I change color? I'm also going to say it does the damp thing. So the fire, if it tries to go back there. So then, all right, we'll do 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just because I can't bother to find the corner flip one. Okay, so that was a 4. So the fire is going to expand in this building. And then never eat shredded wheat. It's going to go in a westerly direction, which is where there's already fire. So that doesn't help. So it's going to have to go here. God, we're never going to put this fire out. All right. Okay, I couldn't get that back. Then we are also going to have these people. Oh, that is a good question actually. So how many turns? We'll give us a little bit of time. So let's do 20. How many turns for a square that's on fire to burn out? 18. I don't know how I'm going to keep track of all this. We're on turn 2. I suppose I've got a tile that looks like fire. Do I? so smooth. Oh dear. All right. And then we will also say then that every 4 turns, these two will come back and forth and also throw a bucket. Well, let's see. How many buckets can the baker bring back every time? 3 buckets. Okay. And then the tavern owner brings back also 3 buckets. So every 4 turns, we will get 6 buckets. Plus our 2 buckets. We're doing 2 buckets. So we actually put out 2 pieces of the fire. And what we're going to want to try and do is form a barrier so the fire doesn't spread, even if we do actually end up losing most of the house, which we probably will. And then, hang on, Morena will come back every 2 turns. We'll make her slightly more capable with her 1 bucket. So then, so every 2 turns, we also get another bucket. Oh no, so she's basically in line with us. So then that just means, yeah, okay, that's fine. So then we would have had a 3rd bucket. For the sake of ease, we will say she will join us where we're going to fight it. So then we do turn 3, we're running down. Turn 4, we run back up. We get 3 buckets. The fire spreads. Hey, cheers for the alert, Trunks. I forgot to note how quickly the fire spreads. Every 3rd turn. Because we know this little bit of ground is now on fire. God, you would need to track this properly. You would need to be writing so much information on this map right now. I wasn't expecting we'd be putting out a fire the first thing we're doing. All right. So we get 3 more buckets. Again, we're just going to carry this on. Which puts that on. And then this is also the 4th turn, which means we get the extra 6 buckets. And we're going to carry it on here. All right, so we then go on to turn 5. Nothing happens. Turn 6. We come back with our 3 buckets. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 for the buildings. Okay, this building is expanding this time. Never eat shredded wheat. Is going up to the north. So then yeah, that's not going to work there. Okay, I don't know why you've selected that. Okay, let's try and make that one drawing, shall we? Alright, so you're now on fire. Alright, we're just going to do that. The outline of it. So we know that's on fire. We also... No, we haven't done our buckets yet, have we? So 1, 2, 3... Oh no, we may have done. Alright, so then that would be turn... Yeah, because we do every... Alright, so every 3 turns, fire. 2 turns, 3 buckets. 4 turns, 6 buckets. Alright. That was turn 6. Turn 7, nothing happens. Turn 8. I now can no longer just expand it. Alright, we're going to want to carry on up here. Was that 1 or 2? Let's say it was 1, make it easier. So we got 8 buckets left. Alright, so out. Okay, so the fire cannot spread to any more buildings. It can only spread to grass. Which is kind of good. And then every... Oh, what was it? It's 18 turns, right? Let's give us 2 goes at this. So let's then say every 9 turns, which will be the next turn. No, which is the turn we're on now. No, next turn. Every 9 turns. Possibility of rain, which would put the fire out. Alright, so it's turn 9. The fire... Well, we'll do the possibility. It's just going to be a yes, no question. Even chance. Does it start to rain? Extreme no. Oh, fuck you, I guess. Alright, so we need to do the rolls again, see what's going to spread. It's spreading from the first building. I was hoping it was going to spread to the south because it can't do that anymore. But it is not. Alright, there's more fire. We go into turn 10, which means we get 3 buckets. We're definitely not putting this fire out at this rate. 10, 11, nothing happens. Turn 12. Everything happens. Alright, so that's 9 more buckets. Nice, that was free. That's 9. We're kind of blocking where it can spread. Keep it contained. Keep it contained. That's all our buckets. The fire. Is going to spread in this building, and it can only spread on a 4. Alright, doesn't spread. Alright, so then 13, nothing happens. 14, we get our free buckets. We're definitely not saving these houses. Alright, so that's 14, 15, fire spreads. Alright, so it's this building. Actually, it can't spread from this building at all because this is already on fire. So, that's good. We do at least have the fire largely contained to just these 2 buildings. Alright, so that's 15, 7, 10, 16. We just did the fire spread roll. 10, 16 is 9 buckets. We might be able to save this house. That'll be some fun. Alright, so that was 16. 17, nothing happens. And then we're basically at the end of the fire now. 18. So let's do a does it rain? Yes, but okay, so it does rain. So it's not going to put the fires out completely, but let's say it will give us 2 d20 squares. Is that enough to put the fire out? So it gives us 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, that building is saved. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We are gonna have 9 buckets, but that's still not gonna be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. But then the fire fizzles out. It didn't spread anymore, which is good. We need to get rid of all of these. So this building no longer exists. So we did manage to get the fire out. This building we know is gone. Squiggle, 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 squiggle. Okay, so for this building, you think personally now that the fire is out, it should start to rain? Dear. These 2 patches of grass were burnt to ash, as was all of this. Okay, did anybody die in this house? An extreme yes. Okay, an extreme yes means I'm going to go for a D8 roll. Only one person died. Only one person died in this house. No, hang on. Let's do that roll differently. So let's do. It seemed like a fairly big building. I think the first thing we're still gonna do the extreme yes, but we'll do the rolls. Looks like a fairly big house. Right, I wanted to make it an orphanage. I'm okay with that. Okay, so let's do 1d20 roll. How many people were in this house? 8. So 8 people in this house. So we're still just going to roll another d8 to see how many people actually died. We should have left it at the 1. All right, 6 people died in this house. All right. All right, 6 dead. 2 survived. Let's see if I can get rid of the squiggly bit. The X is enough to tell us that the house is done. All right. So there were 2 survivors in this house. This house was saved. Doesn't mean people couldn't have died. It's a fairly small house. Let's just do a D6 roll for people who could have been in this house. There's only 1 person. Did anybody die in this house? No. Okay. Okay, so 1 person still alive. Who we don't know. And then I think we need to start doing injury questions for all of these people. We're going to make it unlikely. We'll start with Dave. Did Dave get injured while putting out the fires? Because of course Dave did. Because of course Dave did. All right, it's a yes, but so it's not 100. He didn't get injured badly. He's only got 5 hit points. Please don't kill him. Please do not kill him. How many hit points did he lose? 2. Okay. He's down to 3 hit points. Okay. Did Marino get injured while putting out the fires? No, of course he didn't. Did the baker get injured while putting out the fires? An extreme no. If Dave is the only one who got fucking injured. Did the tavern owner get injured? Yes. Yes, he did. Okay, I don't... You don't have hit points as such. So I guess we're going to have to roll for your hit points. Hey, Rogu, welcome, welcome. Okay, you got 8. That's pretty good. It was a... So again, we're going to roll a d8 to see how injured he got. He died. He flat out died. Which one of you stays the next? There you go. All right. Okay, so the tavern owner is dead. Marina is fine. The baker lady is fine. There's 1 alive in here. There's 2 survivors here who are now left homeless. And there's 3 guards, remember. In fact, let's just make ourselves a note. 3. That's good handwriting. Oh, done with the mouse. 3 dead ghouls. Ghouls. But Dave is still alive. though not fully. Okay. But other than that, it's going great. Marina, being in charge, sends the baker home. Get in your goddamn house, woman. She goes to sleep. It's been a busy night. It's been a busy night. All right. Now, what are you going to do about Dave? You were slightly impressed because we stopped your punch. You were not very impressed because we could only lift 2 buckets. But then I feel like you should have been more impressed because we could run backwards and forward really fast. And we did manage to save a house and keep 1 person alive. Okay, the second building, which is now destroyed and has 6 corpses in it, is a bit of an issue. And you did lose the tavern owner. I think these were meant to be growing plots, much like in a RimWorld playthrough. I think these are now probably graves. And we didn't even swing our weapon once. Okay, so Marina looks around. She still does not trust us. She is still worried about the dead guards. She's also going to worry why the blacksmith didn't come out. In fact, do you want to go and check on the blacksmith right now? No. No, but you are suspicious. Okay. She's going to thank us for our help. Are you going to ask us to bury the dead? I feel like that isn't something we would do. We are a weird elf in this town, and I don't feel like you would want us to bury the dead. But I think we are basically just going to leave the dead in the dead area. Okay. I want a chance to possibly loot this guy. But I don't want to loot this. Oh, we didn't loot the guards. I wonder if we should have tried looting the guard. Too late now. I do not want to loot this guy while she's around. She is not going to want to leave us unattended. The only guest accommodation, she could either stick us in the guard hut, which is now empty because all the guards are dead, or the tavern. But the trouble with putting us in the tavern, one, I'd have to put Dave upstairs, which I don't fancy doing right now just because of how awkward it is. And 2, there's now no tavern owner. Or she can lock us in the bathroom. She's not going to trust us. She's going to want us close. She's going to lock us in the bathroom. Or she's going to try and lock us in the bathroom. We are going to try and talk our way out of it. So she's not going to let us go. We can't leave. It's dark anyway. We wouldn't want to leave at night anyway. We are going to suggest to her that we will stay in the tavern and we will come see her in the morning. She is not going to want that to happen. She's going to try and manhandle us. And we're going to try and talk our way out of it. Okay, her strength check was a 7. There's a good chance we can talk our way out of this. Crit again. Okay, so not only do we talk our way out of it, but it's a crit, so we've got to get something good out of it. Okay, so she was going to try and lock us in the bathroom. We have now used our apparently boyish elven charm, which she seems to be very susceptible to convince her that no, we don't want to spend the night in the bathroom. We're not going to leave. We just want to get a good night's sleep. We will just take a room in the tavern so that in the morning we can talk about a reward. To which he raises an eyebrow at. But she is going to give us a reward. We don't know what it is. But she says, okay, that's fine. But she also has some questions for us. She does escort us to the tavern. And then, like I said, we should go upstairs into the rooms, but we're not going to. Get in the door. And she locks the doors because she's taking the key from the tavern owner. Because why not? She heads... It's your bedroom. Oh, I think I made it so you can't fit down the hallway. Also, the door to your bedroom isn't working, which is interesting. So I guess you're just going to sleep in your office. Because we fucked up on the map. It's fine. Okay, so we are then going to... Well, actually, we're not going to transition to the next day so far. So we are going to try and look for a way out of the tavern. All external doors are locked. There are windows we could try and open. And we could also look upstairs. We could also go downstairs. Although downstairs is very unlikely to lead to a way out. Unless they have like a beer hatch or something for putting the barrels down. In fact, they probably would have some kind of access like that. Into the cellar. First of all, we're going to head up here and we're going to see if we can... Okay, first of all, let's test the windows. Are the windows locked? No. Okay. So we're just going to simply open the windows. We're going to sneak out, which I can't do right now because you're going to block me in. I can turn free movement on, right? And then we're going to turn our torch off, which means we can't see a goddamn thing. And we are going to try, so we're going to try and sneak down. There's no windows here, so she shouldn't be able to see us. The blacksmith is down there. You're asleep. The person who is still alive in here might be able to see us because there might be some holes in the wall. So we'll do a check there. And the two survivors will say upstairs in the inn. If they're upstairs in the inn, did the two people upstairs in the inn hear us trying to jimmy? The window's just opened. They may have heard us trying to climb out. No. Okay. So we got out fine. We're going to then sneak our way down here. We've actually got quite good rolls. It's completely random. So we're going to make our way down here. And we are going to search this guy for treasure. These are the wrong roll tables. Which ones do I want? I mean, that seems a weird thing to pick up. All right, but that is worth 15 gold, so that would actually give us another XP point. Okay, so he had a statue. Did he have any money on him? He's a tavern owner. He may have left his money in the tavern. Did he have any money on him? An extreme no. God, we roll well for. Well, I mean, Dave's got quite a few criticals, so I guess he's rolling okay. And we got a statue out of it. Okay, so we're now going to sneak. No, we're not going to bring the corpse with us because that just seems odd. All right, we're then going to try and sneak back in. Did the people upstairs hear us sneak in? No. Okay, good. We got away with that. We got away with that. All right, so we find somewhere comfortable in the inn. We're not going to go in these other I mean, we have proven ourselves to be a little bit of a thief. Do we want to rummage around the tavern as well? We know the tavern owner is dead. He would have had money hidden somewhere. But do we want to push our luck? On a 1 or a 2, we push our luck. It's a 3. We do not push our luck. We're going to find somewhere nice and comfortable, and we're going to wait till daybreak. At which point, she storms over. Opens the doors. And she's got some questions and quests for us. What those are, I don't know, because we haven't made them up yet. All right. First question. Does she think we deserve a reward? We got a crit. So we'll make it a likely roll. An extreme yes. Okay, so she does want to give us something. And what she is going to give us is a weapon of choice. And we're going to take a longbow. And some arrows. And we're going to equip the longbow. Also, we rested, so we'll be back up to 5 HP. She's also going to give us a luck token, which means I can re-roll something that I don't like the sound of. And 1d6 D4's worth of silver. Why not? All right, 1 silver. Where is my... Okay, we only have 5 arrows. We may want to head down to the blacksmith, see if he's got some for sale. Before we head out. Okay, so that was for helping put out the fire. She's going to ask us if we're going to help bury the dead, to which we want to say yes. Yes, but again, I want payment. She doesn't like that, but it's hard work, so she goes along with it. But before... All right, 1 and a 2, we do that first. 3 and a 4. Okay, before we go and bury the dead, she needs to question us. Getting paid to bury your victims is crazy. We didn't start the fire. We didn't kill anyone. We just helped and got sarcastic for some reason. Obviously, Marina is suspicious. 2 of her buildings were set on fire. 10 people died in her village. None of this is going to look good on her. And we happened to turn up that day. That very night is when we turn up. She hasn't seen anyone else suspicious around the village that she's known of. And she's still very suspicious about the guards. Now, in the light of day, she wants to go and investigate the guards and see if she can find any clues. And she wants us to go with her. She's not really giving us a choice. And she will strong arm us if she has to. I don't particularly want to fight against her, but I am willing to do an oracle question just to possibly add some more tension. I do not want to get in a fight with her because I don't think we win. Also, I'd quite like her to join my party for the original bit. So we got some help. So we're gonna try and keep her happy. All right. So we're gonna do. So what's the question? And I want it to be likely because I want it to be a yes. All right. Do we go with her to investigate the guards? Please be a yes. Okay. Yes. Good. You could have a serial killer killing people and the necromancer bringing them back and asking the dead to act like nothing happened. Okay. So we're gonna head down to where the guards. Whee. Are dead. Oh God, how do I separate you now that I've put you both together? There we go. All right, Dave, you stand there. You stand over there. And now we're going to try and we're going to try and do some investigation, I guess, as both characters. Messing with the party is the best salt. I've written a story about necromancer serial killer who kept his victims alive. Also, one he did it the other way around. Oh dear. All right, so she's still very suspicious of us. She's not the... she's fairly intelligent. More intelligent than us anyway. But we are more wise, and I don't really know what the difference between intelligence and wisdom is in this game, other than one is for magic and one is for priest spells. We never actually asked the question if we did murder these guards. We didn't. We didn't. We weren't here. We found them dead. We opened the door and we found them dead. Intelligence is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. So I think we're going to try and use our intelligence here. So we've got 3 dead guards. We already know that there's no blood trail. Or at least we couldn't find a blood trail. Doesn't mean that Marina couldn't find a blood trail. So I think what she's going to first look for is kind of cause of death, right? Now, I do not have a cause of death roll table, but we could quickly make one. All right, chat. 3 guards. What's a good cause of death? Stabbed. Choked. How else was done one? How else does one die? Forced old age. Burnt to a crisp. The heart attack after seeing his friend stabbed and choked. Poison. Natural causes would be very odd, but we'll add it. We'll add it. They all ran down to get water to put out the fire and all just happened to die of natural causes. That would be a twist. I'm kind of now pushing for natural causes. Oh dear. All right, natural causes. I will also add accident as well. All right, some kind of. So again, we're just going to use this as a kicking off point and then try and see what we can do. So then, like, animal attack. Shot. Not really. They sent the geriatric guards who refused to retire to this town to guard it. All right, so we've got stabbed, choked, forced old age means magical interference of some sort to rapidly age them. Burnt to a crisp, poison, natural causes, accident, animal attack, shot. I'm gonna add drowned. And then that gives us a D10 roll. And then... do we roll once for all three? Or do we take all three guards individually? We're going to take them individually, I think. Which could lead to some very odd storytelling here. And then I'm going to want to make a... I should have done this earlier. All right. We need to give the three guards names, chat. If you have any ideas. Also, I think by pressing escape, we lost the full screen, but that's not a huge problem. I do have a name table somewhere. Ed and Eddie. Cool one, Rogu. Okay. I'll do an Ed, a Rogu, and a Bob. Those are three guards. Okay, so Ed died due to natural causes. Which is interesting. Rogu died. Okay, you can't always be 6. Rogue, if they all just died from natural fucking causes. Natural causes. Quick, someone use an objection. And then Bob died. Bob is burnt to a crisp. Oh my god, what is the story here? Oh dear, that sounds like natural causes to you. Oh dear. Do you want to re-roll your cause of death, Rogu? Oh no, Trunks is reading the ejection. Okay. You want one to have been drunk and set the other on fire and then, and then drowned? When you say one, you want Rogu to have been drunk, right, Trunks? The story, there is no story here, just the chaos of the universe. Alright. Alright, so Rogu died of booze. You would kill to be a fly in the wall of this escapade. Okay. So somehow Rogu, while drunk, okay, so as Dave, we are now going to try and make up a story, and we're going to see if Marina will believe it. We're going to have to do some rolls, but we're going to see if she can believe it. So Dave's version is that Rogu clearly shows signs of drunkenness, vomit on shirt, empty bottle, booze, I very much doubt in King Arthur times we'd be able to test their blood alcohol level. But that's fine. He is drunk, stumbling around, walks into a torch, knocks it over onto the others, setting him on fire. Rogan then trips and falls in the water. Oh dear. He will be carrying a torch, so Roger is also carrying a now extinguished torch. Now, why would Bob have gone up so easily? Okay, does Bob also smell of booze? No. Okay, so he's not covered in booze. Did Rogu... Hang on, I don't want to know the truth yet. We have to kind of do this as a kind of game of Cluedo, and then we'll work out the truth afterwards. Is this our 3 stages shit? Okay, so Rogu stumbles. Bob catches fire. Why does nobody help him? And if he's on fire, this close to a gate, this close to the sea, why wouldn't he run and just dive in? He basically just gets caught on fire and died where he is, which is suspicious. Bob catches fire and burns to death. There's holes in this story. I don't think Marina's gonna buy this. This is a classic Russian story, all natural causes, no strange, unexplainable, suspicious plot holes. I know, they all just happen to fall off balconies. It's weird. Weird. And then Dave is saying, because again, this is Dave looking. I know we started firstly with Marina, but we'll do her story next. So Dave is looking at the corpse, and this is the story he's coming up with based on the evidence he can find. So Roger looks like he was drunk, vomit on shirt, empty bottle of booze. Now, you could say that happened afterwards. I mean, you know, if you accidentally set your friend on fire, you probably are going to vomit a little bit, but it doesn't matter, right? Did Rogu also set the buildings on fire? That's a question for the Oracle later on. There's a story here that makes sense. Bob catches fire and burns to death. And then Ed has a heart attack and dies. It wasn't you, it was LP. That is what we're going to say to Morena. We are going to try and use... Okay, it's going to be an intelligence roll-off. So this is the story we are trying to tell her. It's a pretty weak story, so I'm going to give ourselves disadvantage on this. We rolled a 7. And I'm going to let your roll just be a normal one. Marina does not buy that story at all. She would also know more. So we only found 3 guards. We're now acting as Morena. Morena has knowledge that we couldn't possibly have had. So we're going to ask the Oracle. Should there be more than 3 guards? No. But... Okay, did you send other people down with the guards? No. What the hell is that butt going to be? She's saying release the cakey files. The town crier only recorded 2 guards during the fire. Okay, so you didn't send anyone else down, but we still have to try and resolve this butt. The town crier only recorded 2 guards during the fire. Oh, that's an interesting twist. Should there only be 2 guards? Oh, I like that. All right, so then... All right, so... All right, so there should only be 2 cards. One is an imposter. You'd probably hope it was Rogu. Okay. Well, we're going to take his fact there should only be 2 guards. So the next question to ask, because again, Marina has knowledge. Does she recognize... you can't possibly recognize all 3 bodies. You wouldn't recognize Bob. So, does she recognize the 2 bodies that are still identifiable, which is Ed and Rogu? No. Dun dun dun. All right. Does she recognize at least one of them? Yes. Okay, so one of Ed or Rogu is an imposter. We don't know about Bob because he's burnt to a crisp. We can assume because there were 2 guards and she sent 2 guards that Bob is also a guard, but that doesn't necessarily have to be true because he's unrecognizable. Oh, dear. All right, so then basically she has knowledge that we still don't know because she hasn't necessarily told us as Dave. So her knowledge is there should only be 2 guards. We're going to have to decide who she recognizes. So 1, 2, she recognizes Ed. 3, 4, she recognizes Rogu. Okay, oh God, so Rogu was the guard? Jesus. He's the one who seems to have set everything on fire. Only recognizes Rogu. Possibly Bob. So we now know that Ed, who just seemed to die of some kind of heart attack, was the imposter. Get everyone to line up and have them say the line, "Give me the fucking money." Oh my God. How the hell are we going to make sense out of this? And we also know that these 2 buildings were set on fire. So this isn't something she would know, but this is something we kind of need to know. I guess we'll roll that at the end, see if we get it right. I don't know. Now we're getting to a question of how do you create and solve a random crime just for dice rolls? Unless you go down the Cluedo route and you have cards that you just kind of hide and then you just have to try and guess. All right, so we know there is at least one imposter who is Ed. She's probably going to suspect us still, because why wouldn't you? She wouldn't have looked at the bodies while it was dark because she wouldn't have been able to see. Little bit odd that she didn't tell us there should only be 2 bodies when we were doing the buckets, but again, they're all already dead. So everyone should be alive. It also means because one was an imposter, that this is definitely seeming like it was done on purpose, rather than just some kind of tragic accident. You think chat votes on whether we vote guilty? That's true. We could set up a poll, couldn't we? Based on knowledge. Okay, so then what is... because again, Ed is the one who looks like he died due to natural causes. You only sent 2 dead guards, and Trunks does want one to be drowned. So I think in reality then, there is a drowned body in the sea. Which up until now, we have not seen. And we're not going to have seen it now because we have not gone back out. But I think what we can say is that there is here a little drowned body. No, we're not even sure a crime has been committed. But what we do know is that 2 buildings were set alight. 3 bodies were found here. There's a 4th body that we can possibly find. We're going to have to do checks if they ever decide to come down this way to look further downfield. We know of the 3 guards that only one of them can be recognized. So something has gone on here. Dick Van Dyke can show up in court and make a prolific monologue. Hey, Right Dog, thank you very much. I think someone must be back home now. And for us, Dave, what we're most trying to do is we need to get to a place where you got 2 hours before work, so even better. All right. How easily can I make a poll? I don't know how many people are here, but how easily can I make a poll? No, I don't want to raid a channel. All right. Create a new poll. I'm going to set that going for 3 minutes. All right, so there's a poll for you to vote on, which may change the story a little bit. Whatever happened, did Dave do it? We don't know what happened yet, but did Dave do it? And we're gonna fight from there. We're gonna find it from there. While you're voting, I'm gonna go make myself another coffee. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I seem to miss some things while I was gone. Thank you, Rydog, for giving out 10 gifted subs. It's very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, did Dave do it? They're on sale. How could I not? That's because I put them on sale. Hey, Trunks, thank you very much for the bits as well. It's very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you.
Just cheered 120 bits.
It definitely helps. All right. If we're going to do polls, I probably need... Oh, it's 50-50. Okay, that doesn't help us much. Okay, so we don't know if Dave did it. I guess that is fine. We can kind of go either way with that. Also, chat, while we're doing this, what is my 6th... I'm going to give it away just by the phrasing. My 6th most streamed category this year. Could it be just chatting? Do you know it is? With 35.3 hours of just chatting. All right. So, what was my 5th most played game? We may as well just go through and finish all of these because there's not many surprises left in this list this year. Satisfactory? Nope. It is indeed. It is Sniper Elite 5 with just over 57 hours. Okay, so number 4. Hey, and Owen, thank you for the bits as well.
An_Owen just cheered 100 bits. A sight so bizarre is a double whammy / a pig playing basketball in sunny Miami / everyone's heart sunk / as he went for a dunk / he collapsed mid-flight and pulled a hammy.
It's not satisfactory, nope. I'll give you 2 clues, which are very easy. 1, they've just been brought by Crafton. And 2, Rydog just said it. But I believe he said it in answer to the one before. It is indeed Last Epoch. And thank you very much for the hype train. It is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Number 3 is not satisfactory. You are absolutely correct with the top 3, but your order is incorrect. It is Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So Last Epoch... Hang on, let me drag this closer so I can actually see it with my old man eyes. Last Epoch had 68 hours. We then go to Call of Duty Black Ops 6, 205 hours. We then go to Satisfactory, 206 hours. So if we hadn't played that yesterday, wouldn't have scraped up. And then Overwatch 2 with 279 hours. Ah, dear. So not even a quarter of my streaming time this year has been Overwatch 2. Now, if you break that down to just the past few months, that percentage would get a lot higher. All right. So then, since I've started streaming, number 10, World of Warcraft. You knew Overwatch 2 was going to be one, but COD and Satisfactory wasn't sure because you did play a lot of COD. Yes, I did. And like I said, if we hadn't played Satisfactory yesterday, COD would have they would have switched around. Like they were very close. Yeah, number 10, World of Warcraft, 113 hours. 9 is Diablo 3, 124 hours. 8, Oxygen Not Included, 150. 7 is RimWorld, 181. 6 is Call of Duty with 205. 5 is Cuisine Royale with 326. God, I can't believe of the time I've been streaming, Cuisine Royale has gone down to like less than 4% of my streaming hours. Number 4 is Satisfactory with a total of 631 hours. Number 3 is Apex Legends, which when you consider I haven't played that for maybe 2 years now, with 718 hours. God, when I played Apex, I played it a lot. Jesus Christ. And then 1 and 2 are both Overwatch, but of different flavors. So number 2 is Overwatch 2 with 799 hours. And number 1 is Overwatch, the original, with 867 hours. Oh dear. We played it every day for like a whole year for 4 hours. We did. We played a lot of Apex. A lot of Apex. I think it's a shame they couldn't keep it fresh. But it's hard with a game like that, right? And then you had EA trying to milk it for everything that it was worth, which just made it really unplayable. Addiction, it definitely was at one point, yeah. But I mean, it's just like Overwatch, right? It's such and Call of Duty. It's such an easy game to just pull up and play. You know, whereas like, especially because, I mean, ever since I've started streaming, I haven't been in the best position, like living status wise, family wise. So when you're just being like hammered like that, it is the best performing IP for Respawn, and it still wasn't enough to save them from EA's layoffs. No, I mean, Apex would have had to make a shit ton more money for EA to be happy with it. And I don't know with Respawn's layoffs, because Respawn were making so many games for EA. Like they were doing, I think they were behind the Star Wars Survivor ones. They were working on either a sequel or a spin-off to Titanfall. They were still working on Apex, are still working on Apex. Like, there was a time there where Respawn was basically doing everything for EA that wasn't a sport franchise. And I don't know if that's still true. I honestly don't. I honestly do not know if that's still true or not. Okay, so we still don't know if Dave did it, which is interesting, and we still don't know. We know that Marina did not buy this story, and she's starting to tell us why. She recognizes Rogu. That's the only guard she recognizes. Rogu was drunk. And the interesting one is going to be Bob. Because this could turn out to be Bob who drowned. And then that means there were 2 imposters here. Also, the fact that the body is right next to the boat, if Marina discovers it, may make her more suspicious of us rather than less suspicious of us. But that's probably fine. And we know that Ed is the imposter, but he is the one who just seemed to die of natural causes, which is really, really weird. So Morena is clearly going to only trust Rogu out of that list. So her version right now has got to be that she accepts that Rogu was drunk. We accept that. But that Rogu was probably force-fed booze and framed for setting Bob, who may have been a natural guard, framed for setting Bob on fire. And then Ed is the real culprit. But who had a heart attack before they could run away. Oh, seems to be another poll active. Guilty, guilty, super guilty, innocent in very little letters. All right, so what is she going to let Dave know? Because at this point, I think you still have to suspect Dave, right? Okay, so are you still suspicious of Dave? Yes, but. Okay, so you are still suspicious, but you're definitely more on the side of he's not involved. He just has to prove that he wasn't involved. And I don't know how he proves that. Who is they? That's a very good question. Okay, so she is going to tell Dave that she only recognizes the one guard, and that is Rogu. She does not recognize Ed, and she cannot tell, because Bob is burnt to a crisp, if Bob is Bob. Does she think it's Bob? Yes. Okay. Okay, so she tells Dave. Bring your only guard. She thinks BC, burnt crisp, is Bob. Does not recognize Ed. Alright, so therefore Ed. Ed right now, I think for Rogu's vote, on Owen's vote, Rogu is the dead drunk man. Is who we're voting is, are they super guilty? Did Ed do it? Okay, so what would I look for as Dave? What would I look for on Ed? You're sure Ed did something wrong in his life? Well, right now, we believe Ed force-fed Rogu booze, set Bob on fire, set these two buildings on fire. For some reason we don't know, and then had a heart attack and died. Why do we believe Morena is believing that purely based on the fact that Roger is the only one that she knows, and is the only one that she is trusting in this scenario, so probably can't bring herself to believe, even by accident, that she set who she believes is Bob on fire. You're going to vote Rogu stole Ed's wife? This story sounds familiar to a RimWorld incident. Honestly, that kind of feel of RimWorld and the kind of story building of RimWorld is kind of what I'm going for with this kind of thing. The stupidest situations we can land Dave in, the better, right? As long as he doesn't die. So yeah, so from Morena's point of view, because the only one, again, Bob may not be Bob. We're not 100% sure Bob is Bob. Did Dave bed someone on the hospital bed and sleep on their grave? We don't know if Dave is involved in this because there was only a 50-50 vote for that. So it is still possible that Dave is involved in this, yes. But we don't know. If Dave is involved, it is clearly he does not remember these actions, or we don't remember those actions, and we are quote unquote Dave. So if it turns out that Dave was involved, we're probably going to have to try and work out how he was involved and why he doesn't remember being involved. Maybe Ed and Bob were mid setting the town on fire when Rogan caught them in a struggle. Ed had a heart attack due to shock and excursion. Bob managed to do Rogan and frame him, but shortly after gets knocked out and dies to the spreading fire. All the guards are dead down here. The fire for the buildings was only up here. I think what would be interesting, I think we need to make rolls to see if they discover this fourth body. Because I think what would be interesting is what is this fourth body and what would that then add to the story? But right now as Dave, all we're trying to do is prove that we weren't involved. Marina wants to believe us. I don't know why she wants to believe us. We haven't even told her why we're here yet. We walked in and there were 3 dead guards and the bloody village was on fire. Have we ever asked if Morena Yes, we did ask if Morena recognizes Ed, right? So Ed, it probably isn't even a villager dressed up as a guard. Ed, I guess we can ask because Marina may not know everyone in the village. She is that kind of person. So let's ask the question: is Ed a stranger to this village? Yes. Okay. So Ed is definitely a stranger. So whatever has happened with Ed's story is definitely, it may not be suspicious. It may be completely, maybe he snuck in, stole a guard's uniform, saw Rogu setting fire to Bob, and had a heart attack because he witnessed that terrible, terrible act. That is a story that makes a lot of sense. We don't know if it's true because we don't know what the true story is. And we may never know what the true story was, but we got to come up with something that both Marina and Dave are happy with. Even more important question, does it matter if it's true? No, it doesn't matter necessarily. Like I said, all we need to make sure is that Dave either convinces Marina that he is not involved. That's all we're trying to get here. If she does think he's involved, then Dave is then going to have to try and run away. Okay, but we are voting to say that Ed is guilty. Guilty of what? We don't know. We're going to have to roll for the proper story at some point. Again, not that it matters, but just so we can write it down. Okay, so I think then, and again, because I just want to kind of force the discovery of this, but the possible discovery of this body, Dave is then is going to try and explain to Marina exactly what happened, and he's going to do it by tracing his footsteps. So he's going to tell her, look, I've come from Avalon. The mention of Avalon makes her suspicious, although he is an elf, so that would make sense. It's where all the elves went. But they can just come back on a rowboat. It's not like J.R.R. Tolkien's elves where they just never come back. It's just one 14-hour rowboat journey away. And we, a jury of your peers, have decided super guilty. What does super guilty mean in your mind, Unknown? Again, I need to be keeping like a politician level guilty. All right. So we know Ed is guilty of something. We just don't know what. We also don't know if the fires here and this are in fact connected. Super guilty, you'd feel like premeditated? Okay, so that, if we're taking that as a definition, that would lean towards that these probably are connected. Because again, we haven't asked those questions yet either. We do not know. All right, so Dave has now said that he's from Avalon. He's not going to tell her about his quest yet, but he has to at some point. He'd rather be over this before he gets onto that. So he's going to oh, I'm still on draw. He's going to trace his steps. And he's going to take Rona with her. So Dave is like, I came on this boat. He can prove that he came on a boat because there is a boat, and it's a boat that she doesn't recognize. That's a point in his favor. As these two are standing at the dock, you roll for perception? Intelligence? Wisdom? Intelligence? Okay, we can do that. So we're going to do some intelligence rolls. So the body... Oh, Serenity has said wisdom. The body will be found on a roll of 4 or greater. Okay, I'll tell you what, we'll do one of each. We'll do highest roll for Marina is intelligence, so we'll have her do an intelligence roll. I mean, that was a 14, so she definitely sees it. Let's get Dave to do a wisdom roll. Dave does not see it. Okay. Marina has to find that suspicious. Body? What body? What are you talking about? This body, you fucking blind idiot. Oh, that body. Okay. So then the next roll is this Bob? Yes. This is Bob. So that means the person who was burnt to a crisp is not Bob. So Bob drowned, at least on the face of it. And then there is a question mark, question mark, question mark, who is burnt to a crisp. All right. What else happened to Bob? Because the 3 died here, and then Bob is the other guard, the other person who Morena knows. So that means that there are 2 imposters. How do we know Ed's name? Do you know what? In stories, it's very often not explained how people know each other's names, so I'm not going to worry about it. But we know he's Ed, but they're going to be a stranger to both Dave and Marina, so they would not refer to him as Ed, but that's fine. We're going to agree what is fact is that Rogu is showing signs of drunkenness. Obviously, we can't do scientific tests to prove that he was drunk. But he's got vomit on his uniform and he's got an empty bottle of booze. Maybe Ed was identified as Ed by a townsperson who had talked to them during the day prior. Bob is in the river drowned. Is Bob, or does Bob, show signs of having been set on fire? An extreme yes. Okay, so question mark, question mark, question mark, and Bob were set on fire. Bob, quite rightly, after being set on fire, runs down into the sea, jumps in, but still dies because he drowned because he can't swim. No. Based on where he's placed, we need one more question. Is there any sign that Bob may have been hit by either Dave's boat or Dave's oar? Fuck! We killed Bob! All right. That's probably fine. All right. He was set on fire, was then hit by a boat, and then drowned. Poor Bob. Poor Bob. But Bob was already dead when we hit him with the boat. Okay. Okay. We're going to have to try and prove that, but we can take that as fact. I didn't copy and paste it. All right. Okay, we didn't kill Bob. Yes. Although we have to try and prove it. So that's good. How the fuck am I going to prove that to Morena though? And then how? Okay, so we're not going to get anything off question mark, question mark, question mark. Ed clearly needs to be searched. As does Rogu. We should also probably try and fish Bob out of the river, which will be a strength check. We have to beat an 11. Please, Dave. Please pull Bob out of the river so we can try and prove that the boat hit him afterwards. Don't make a cock up of it. Don't Three Stooges it. Don't drop him into the river and then... Or it's not river, it's the sea. Don't drop him into the sea and then the body washes away in a very suspicious type fashion. Okay? Okay. You rolled a fucking 3. All right, so Dave then tries to pull Bob in, but struggles. Okay, does Dave lose his grip? Oh, fucking hell, Dave. All right, so Dave then loses his grip on Bob and stumbles a little bit and goes falling into the sea after him. God, I have to hope Morena can save both of us here. All right, so now the picture that represents Bob is down there. Dave has now fallen into where Bob was. Morena is then going to pull back. All right, so we know we lost his grip. He then falls in. All right, we're going to try and do two things. So Morena is going to try and grab Dave. Does Morena grab Dave? No. Okay. Fuck. She doesn't even care. In fact, if both Bob and Dave get washed out to sea, it makes her life just that much easier. She's clearly not going to jump in after him because she's wearing a suit of armor. So Dave now has to try and save himself. But Dave also needs to try and get Bob back. I'm also going to assume that Dave can swim. All right, so we're gonna try and do two things. So one, we're gonna try and grab hold of Dave, which again is going to be a strength roll. Shit, we got to beat a 19. All right, Dave, we need one of your fantastic crits. Are you going to need a perception roll to see if Bob understands he needs to swim? Bob is dead. Bob ain't swimming. Oh, God, unless he comes back to life. Is that even a question I want to ask? Oh, dear. Okay. All right. Okay. Come on, Dave. I'm going to spend my luck so I can give myself advantage on this roll. My advantage only equaled 10. He wasn't dead, just unconscious. Shit. Slightly burnt, water in his lungs, hit by a boat, but could still possibly be alive. I don't mind doing a roll on that. At all. Okay, but first we've got to get Dave out of the water. So Dave does not grab hold of Bob. He is then going to try and use his dexterity to get out of the water back onto the dock. It's going to be great if Bob ends up saving Dave. Because he just wakes up in the fucking water. Right. What do you need to beat, Dave, to get out? A 3? Come on. You've got +2, so in fact you can't lose. All right. So Dave does manage to get out of the water. Bob is actually the Human Torch. Fantastic Four now available in theaters. So we are now rolling to see if Bob is actually dead. He needs to beat a 16 to be alive. Bob's fucking alive. All right. Well, if Bob's alive, I think we're actually going to have to make Bob a character now. All right. Bob. He's going to be a fighter. He's going to be a human. I don't believe I can make anyone a guard, so we'll just... blacksmith, why not? He'd be mastered with a sword. And your cousin is Minnie. All right, and then you would have on you your bastard sword. And you would also have some kind of armor, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Just some generic leather guard armor. All right. So Bob is alive. And is going to try and pull himself up onto the dock. How the fuck did Bob end up being alive? He's slightly crispy. All right, so we roll. All right, you've just got to beat a 7. And he did. All right, so Bob pulls himself up onto the dock. God, Bob, you've become quite the character. All right, we can get rid of the drawing for Bob, seeing he's now been replaced by an actual person. All right. Marina obviously is shocked by these turn of events. And we now have a witness who can potentially tell us exactly what happened. How? I can't really do how. That's not a yes or no question. Do you know what? I'm going to ask it a no question. Is Bob the Human Torch? Of course he is. Notes. Human Torch. Oh no, did Bob set everybody on fire? Oh, that'd be fine though. Because that means he burnt to crisp, question mark, question mark, question mark. This could all work out. This could all work out. I doubt people know that he's the Human Torch, but that's fine. Okay. Next question. He's been knocked unconscious. He's a little bit singed. Well, he's hit by a boat. He's a little singed. And he did almost drown. Does he remember the events of last night? No. He does not remember the events of last night. So we still have to make a story. And that is a definite no. Is Bob the unwitting victim of a weeping angel? He's very out of his own time as the Human Torch. He's just one of the Human Torches. No, I'm not going to ask if Bob knows he's the Human Torch. Okay, so he does not remember what happened to him. He does not remember how he got into the river. He is therefore going to be... Okay, so Marina and Bob head off together. And they're going to go and recover in her little office space. Which leaves Dave alone by the dock. He is going to go and search the 3 guards. Alright, so we now know question mark, question mark, question mark is also a stranger. Alright, so set on fire, drowned, hit by boat, alive. for Bob. Good for you, Bob. I'm going to see if we can take Bob with us on our adventure, I think. See if he wants to come along. If we make it out of this town. Okay, so we are going to search the area as Dave. That's probably going to be a wisdom roll. All right. And we're going to ask ourselves some questions. Okay, so we're going to do a search first. So we're going to search Rogu, and we're searching Rogu for any further clues as to... So he set out as if he was drunk. He's been... Oh, hang on. This may open more questions than it answers. But it's fine. We're going to search Rogu to see if there's any evidence that his body was staged. So we know he's holding a bottle of booze. We know he's holding an extinguished torch, which is what made it look like he possibly set Bob on fire. The stranger, question mark, on fire. So we're searching for any evidence that possibly he was staged. Ultimately, we're going to get the answer from the Oracle, but we're going to see how likely it is by doing a wisdom check. So 20, obviously we find what we're looking for. So basically 0 to 9 unlikely Or probably 0 to 10. Anything over 10. And then probably anything over 18. So 18 or 19 and then 20. We take it as given. Okay, so. We rolled a fair there. 14. So that's basically an even chance. So. Does it look like Rogu was staged after he died? Yes. Okay. Getting more information. We're getting more of a story we can tell. All right, so Rogu was staged. Now, the trouble is, the only person who we know who is still alive is Bob. So this may implicate Bob. Would also implicate us, possibly. All right, so Rogu was staged after death. We're not going to be able to, we're probably not going to be able to tell timeline of who died when. We know that Bob survived and is still alive. It's possible that Ed fiddled with Rogu before he died. I don't know how you would prove that. But the next question we're going to ask is, okay, so we're going to search Ed, and the main thing we're looking for, again, this will be a wisdom check, is there anything, oh, that's a good wisdom check. Still just going to be even chance though. Is there anything that identifies Ed? Yes. Okay. Well, we don't necessarily know what. Okay, so we search Ed. All right, so we now know Rogu was staged after death. We search Ed and we do find something that identifies him. So who the fuck is Ed? That's a good question. And I don't know. I don't think you're the right table for this. Ed is the pommel of a sword. No, that's basically the quest that I've got going. Don't you steal my ideas. Stupid roll table. All right. So we find... What do we find? What would someone in medieval times be carrying? Again, we can take liberties with this. That would identify him. Doesn't necessarily identify him by name, but could identify him as some kind of cause, something that he belongs to. Okay, did we find dog tags? Yes. Okay, so we searched Ed and found dog tags. We're then gonna go to I can't remember where. Alright, so we're gonna roll a d4 and we'll roll them in that order. Okay, so he is from Corbenic, which is where this place is. Named Ed. Ed. Sure. Alright, so we now know that Ed is called Ed. We also know that he is a soldier and he is from Corbenic. Is he a knight of the round table? Fuck. Yes, but. So no, maybe he was. which I don't think Dave wouldn't know that. I wonder if it'd be on his dog tags for some reason, marked as an ex-knight. All right, and then we're also going to search question mark, but he's burnt to a crisp. So it's going to be very unlikely we find anything. Do we find anything on the question mark guy that would help us identify him? We do. Okay. So then but it was a but. Question mark, and found a. Okay, so it was a yes, but so we're not going to find anything as obvious as dog tags, but we are going to find something that possibly identifies him as something that wouldn't burn. So kind of like a metal necklace. Which means nothing to Dave. All right. So we now have more evidence, which we're going to try and convince Morena of, so she will let us out of this goddamn town. I would say we were fairly successful on that, so I'm going to give myself another XP. Because that's kind of how XP works. Well, I think you're mainly in Shadowdark meant to get XP by finding treasures, but we're going to do it based on story beats. In fact, if we can convince Morena of her innocence and get out of this town, we'll give ourselves enough XP to level up. And we haven't been in one fight. We don't necessarily know that there's a blacksmith over here, although there's no reason. There's no trails or anything that we found, so there's no reason for us to go traipsing down here. And we're not a detective. We were really only searching for treasures. I guess that should probably be our next question is, so we found some clues. Did we find anything that we could steal on any of the guards? A twist. Oh God, is Rogu still alive? He can't be question mark. What if Ed is still alive? What if he was faking his heart attack? But then why would he lie down so long and be there in the morning? Why wouldn't he have run away at night? Doesn't matter. We didn't need to answer those questions. All right, so the twist is one of either Rogu or Ed is alive. Ed is 1-2, Rogu is 3-4. Rogu is still... Jesus Christ. All right, okay. Rogu is also still alive. I don't think that means he could have staged himself. That does mean we're going to have to roll a character for Rogu now. You sleep like the dead. All right, so Rogu, who is also human, because we all are. Well, they all are over here. You kind of have to be a... He's a thief. He's a thief who's playing as a guard. Why not? Who is a jeweler. Who is lawful. Okay, I like that. You've slept through raid sirens. They're used for emergencies. He's got 1 hit point. All right. Reroll HP. Okay. It was 1d4. Well, I got you up to 4, so there you go. Okay. We then need to find Rogu. Because apparently with the 3 dead guards, the only people who died were the suspicious ones. I think Rogu and Bob may have set fire to the village. No, there is another story that makes sense here. Is Rogu and Bob saw the people set fire to the village, chased them down. Bob, who is the Human Torch, set question mark on fire. Ed then had a heart attack and died. Rogu, who was drunk, followed Bob as Bob ran off to chase these people who set fire to the building, tripped over, and maybe didn't even trip over. The stranger was on fire. He was quite warm. It was a cold night. He was drunk, so he just kind of laid down and had a little bit of a nap. Woke up with a bit of a headache. All right, so does Rogu remember what happened? No, but yeah, Rogu's back alive as well. There was a twist. There was a twist. He was alive the whole time. All right, so when we searched Rogu for treasure, he woke up. Okay, so we then say to Rogu, I don't know what we take to Rogu. I guess we now have to take Rogu up with our clues. We're gonna take Rogu under our shoulders and we're gonna help him, even though he's hideously hungover. We're gonna help him up to the office so we can try and move the story out of this village. I did not expect we'd be in this village so long. Oh dear. Okay. Morena, very shocked to see Rogu, seeing as they'd already investigated the scene and were pretty sure he was dead. But no, still very much alive, as is Bob. So both of the guards survived. Neither of them remember what happened. We hand over to Morena the dog tags, which identify Ed as Ed, who is a Corbenic soldier and an ex-Knight of Round Table. Morena is a Knight of the Round Table. She didn't recognize the body, or at least didn't tell us she recognized the body, but does Morena know Ed? Yes. So why didn't you recognize him? Because only when you tell. Didn't recognize him, didn't really know him that well. But now that you've told her who he was, she recognizes that that is indeed Ed. Okay, so we're then going to ask, as Dave, we're going to ask Morena, because again, we're still trying to work out who the fuck was guilty here, even though we know it was Ed. Do you know why Ed was kicked out of the Knights of the Round Table? Yes. Okay, we now need to come up with a story of why he was kicked. He was kicked out of the Round Table because it was discovered he was an agent of the Free Lands of Lancelot. Okay, and we're also going to pass her the metal necklace which we found on question mark, question mark, question mark. Does she recognize the necklace? No. But she knows someone who might, but they're outside of the village. Which will then give us another quest, and I've not been filling in our quest log. It's fine. We'll make some notes as we go. Okay. So she doesn't recognize the necklace. She doesn't know who question mark is, who's burnt to a crisp. But she knows someone who might recognize the necklace. She knows that Ed was an agent of the Free Lands of Lancelot. So then the story that we're coming up with, or at least the story that Morena is going to accept, no, we're going to roll for it. So we are going to say, based on what we know, right, so this is Dave's story, version 2. The Ed and where are my question mark? Why have I forgotten where the question mark is on the fucking keyboard? Ed and question mark, question mark, question mark. There's very little evidence of this. Set fire to the buildings. Was seen by Rogu and Bob. Chased down. In the fight. Question mark was burnt to a crisp. Maybe by this is all Dave would know. Maybe by Rogu, who had a torch. Or accident based on prior. No, he's not prior. Prior arson. Ed knocked Rogu out, then dies. Of a heart attack. Dave is then going to suggest it is an attack by Lancelot. Although not sure what or why. And we're going to raise the question. Okay, no, no. First of all, we're going to use our charisma. And she's going to use her intelligence. So we are going to try and convince her. Because again, we have no proof. Good God, an 8? She's not going to buy this, surely. No, because she got a 20. Critical success. Alright. You are also technically a character, so you get an XP, even though you're not in my party. Sees through story, as there is no clear evidence. She's going to suspect us again, surely, based on a bloody crit success seen through our story. How can we try and win her back on our side? Okay. Does she now suspect us? For the love of God, say no. You son of a bitch. She now suspects us. Although again, there is no evidence. So she now believes that Ed, question mark, question mark, question mark, and Dave came to the village on behalf of Lancelot, because they, again, no real evidence for that, but probably enough that she would buy. To destroy some buildings, and she also believes that Rogu and Bob did catch them. But it was Dave. It was Dave who knocked out Rogu and dumped Bob in the sea. And they got all these helping hand tokens. We haven't had one single fight yet, which is probably good because we're probably going to die the first fight we have. She also thinks it likely that we, by we I mean Dave, killed Ed And question mark, question mark, question mark. Somehow. So we are now in a room with 2 guards, slightly groggy guards who would probably be rolling with disadvantage, and Morena. There is no way we can fight our way out of this. I also do not believe that she would give us another chance. But I also do not believe she has any kind of evidence against us. So what is she going to do? Does she place us under arrest? Yes. Okay. Okay, so Dave is now under arrest, and I don't think we're going to be able to buy our way out of this. We can try and talk. We can't fight our way out because we would definitely die. I'm very tempted to try that fight just so we can have a fight, but we most definitely would die. And by us, I mean Dave. The only thing that could possibly save us would be a random helping hand that can help. Who's standing next to us? Rogu, right? I didn't even notice that Rogu speaks reptilian. We could try and take him hostage. I don't see how that helps us. I think we just have to accept that we're under arrest. And we're going to have to try and either break out at some other point. If we're under arrest, you would take all of our stuff. Bob objects to Dave being placed under arrest as Dave was the only one who tried to fish him out of the sea. Okay, we can try and get Bob on board. All right, so then Bob is going to try and use his charisma. All right, so then Bob objects as, although Dave failed, he did try. And save him from the sea. Okay, so then you're going to have to do a charisma roll off against Mariner. We'll roll her first so you know what you need to beat. Okay, you need to beat a 1. You can't possibly fail this, but we're going to roll it anyway. God, Dave never rolls like that. Yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So then. All right. So Marina buys this. And finally, asks Dave why he is here. Dave reveals that he found a sword hilt to the sword that was in the stone, and that the lady, okay, Dave's going to sound mad, the lady in the sword told him to find Merlin, as swords often do. All right. Does Morena buy this? No. But she finds this unlikely, but her need to leave the village and have an adventure twist her arm. She suggests that if anyone would know where Merlin is, it is Galahad in Grail City. As she does not trust you, she offers to escort you. Okay, so that would kind of put her in our party, but would definitely put her in charge. Does Bob offer to join? No. Does Rogu offer to join? Yes. Yes, but. All right. All right. What's going to be the no but for Bob? We didn't ask Bob. We were just waiting to see if Bob offered. You wait to see if Bob offers to join, but he does not. He does look a little anxious. Rogu does offer to join, but Marina says he must remain in the village. If Rogu goes, Bob will go, but if Bob doesn't go, Rogu won't go. Oh dear. We're going to meet Bob again. In fact, let's start to build a people. Okay, so then it looks like there's party members. Us and Marina are going to be heading out of the village. which is good because that means we can start to get a little bit more crazy with this kind of stuff. However, before we go, before we can leave, we bury the dead. Have another XP for. I'm going to make sure everyone in the village is comfortable. The new tavern owner asks, this is purely so we can have at least one fight. If we can clear the basement of rats before we go. Okay. No, hang on, that's the wrong one. What we want? Alright, it's going to be pitch black. You have a weapon. You do have a torch. You also have a little bit of your torch left. We've got a little bit of ammo. Okay, we're going to roll a D6. How many rats are in the basement? There's at least 2, so we'll add, oh shit. I was going to say we'll add 2 to this. That'd make it 7. Moreno is going to have to carry us in this, that's for sure. Alright, so we come downstairs. I believe Moreno would go first. Okay, I clearly did not set your token up correctly. All right, and then we're adding 7 rats. Who I believe are level 1. Actually, no, it's just going to be 7 enemies, and then let's use the roll table for it. Who knows what's going to be down in this basement? All right. Got a badger. Let's put you up there. Got a bandit. It's a weird assortment of people down at this. All right, we got just a peasant. Probably just minding his own business.
Useful. I'm having a wonderful time.
Oh dear. And then we're going to have to do a helping hand roll as well. Okay. How many have I done? 1, 2, 3. There's a vulture down in this basement. fug. Is that 5? One of them brought their dog. I'll put them over with the fug. And there's an orc. This basement is very busy and we're probably going to die. But that's fine. So now I need to do the encounter. We're not going to need the oracle. We're not going to need that. And then we are going to roll for everybody. And then before anything else happens, we're going to roll on... Oh, good. It was just on the wrong page. All right. Adrian's wisdom. This is clearly from Rocky. Listen to Adrian's encouragement, gaining advantage on a single saving throw or ability check. Grant advantage on one saving throw or ability check. I can re-roll if you like, or I am more than willing to make up a helping hand item on the spot for you if you want me to throw a Molotov. I'm more than happy to do that. Oh no, let's do the Molotov. Okay, so first question with helping hand. Who are you helping? Or we can bring the Molotov in here and then do a D4 and a D6. D4 will do direction. And then D6 will do how much? You assume it would be me since you have thumbs? Oh, we'll do a Molotov. Burn damage for everyone in like a 15-foot arc. All right, so we're gonna throw it more this way. There's a lot of shells. All right, let's go into. Okay, so it's gonna hit up here. Can't see the grid that well on this one, unfortunately. Improvised Molotov. All right, so it's hitting these two guys. God, they don't have a lot of HP, so then let's make it a D8 roll for damage. It's also going to set this area on fire, which is going to be interesting. Clearly 20 D8. Dear. I'm gonna do D8's damage, and then we'll do. We can do D6, and then everyone who walks in the area, because I think I can keep this up. Well, we'll do some kind of check to see if they stay on fire as well. All right, so 1d8 damage for this guy. And he takes 1, so that brings him down to 3. need to do... No, you're not dead. We need to do this guy as well. Okay, the orc is actually dead. Hey, you got one of them for me. Oh yeah, so then anyone who enters has to do a constitution save, or they take 1d4 damage entering, walking in the fire. All right, so Mr. Peasant, you're not on fire. You don't have a lot of intelligence, so I think you would just run through the fire. And your movement is near. I forget what that means because I really wish you would just give me a distance. Is it in the... All right, near is up to 30 feet. I don't bloody ping. Okay, and he remains in the fire. Okay, so he's got to do a constitution check. What the fuck does distance near supposed to mean? He got a 12. You also tell me... Okay, so we'd say it would be easy, so it should be against a 9. I won't do a roll for this one, which he beat. So he didn't go on fire to get in, but he is remaining in the range, so he has to do it again. No, hang on, he's got to do his constitution roll again first. Then we roll for damage, if any. It's got to be the 9. You got an 8, so then we do need to do a damage roll. He takes 4 damage, and he is in fact dead. LP may just kill everyone for me. All right, Badger. He's got rage. Okay, so you can burrow. So you can go underneath the fire. What he did in Blackstone with his flamethrower weapon. All right, so you're not going to be up, and you can actually go under these. So you're going to go here, and then that's going to be your turn. All right, the Mastiff. What have you got? Anything that would help? Not really, but I'm also going to say you're probably not going to go running through the fire. I'm going to say you try and jump over, which would be a dex roll. Again, it would be easy, so we need to try and beat a 9. He got a crit fail, so he attempts to jump over this shelving unit, completely cocks up, has to do a d4 damage roll, takes 1 damage. And is... I'm going to say he's stunned, so he has to miss a round. I don't know if there's any way I can do that on here. rolls and bursts into flame, rolls around, spreads fire. But yes, we're going to say he is stunned. All right, the fug is also not intelligent, so he is probably just going to run through the fire. So again, has to do a Constitution save. Has to beat 9, most definitely does. Also remains in the fire, so it's gonna... I probably shouldn't have him roll twice in one turn, but fuck it. Oh, and you got an 8. Alright, takes 1d4 damage. He's only got 1 health left. Is anybody going to get to take a swing at anybody? I'm going to assume the vulture can fly, so he can avoid the fire completely. Is again near... Can track dead flesh unerringly within a mile. I honestly thought it said fish, and I was like, that's really not a very useful. Can only attack when close. Okay, Dave gets to go. He's going to use his longbow. Yeah, those would be like small crates, so that won't count as cover or anything. So then we make sure we target this guy. Well, that was a crit failure. Fucking hell, Dave! Oh, your first attack roll with your bloody longbow. And you fucking missed. Did that use the... it did use the ammo. Alright, good. I think that means... he either has to do damage to himself... or... he accidentally attacks Morena. I think we're going to say he does 1d4 damage to himself. It's going to be fucking great, Dave. And of course it's a 4. All right, well, Dave's almost killed himself. So that's good. Fucking Dave. All right, you're also not intelligent, so you're also just going to try and walk through the fire. Well, you're already in the fire. All right, you fail, so 1d4 damage. You are dead. Well, so far the helping hand has been insanely useful. All right, and then he's already dead. There are no saving throws. All right, come on, Morena, be fucking more useful than Dave. Can you make it over to... All right, we're going to approach the vulture. And then we're going to swing at him. And we missed. Yep, these are D&D rolls, all right. It's not even D&D. All right. You're already dead. All right, Badger is not in the fire. You are going to burrow towards Morena, and then you are going to attack her. So we need to make you the target. I feel like the vulture was still the target. And oh no, it worked. You hit, obviously. All right, 1 damage. That would have killed Dave. Luckily, it just takes you down to 13 because I made you quite strong. All right, you miss your turn, but we can take away the stun. All right, so the Thug is going to try and leave the fire. He's going to do his Constitution check. It's got to be the 9. Which he does. He's going to move there. He's in range and is going to swing at Moreno. Again, another success. Get you down to 10. Everything is fine. Now the vulture gets to have a go. Also a success. Takes you down to 9. All right, come on, Dave. Redeem yourself. I tell you what else I should have done. Actually, what is it?
I'm useful. I'm having a wonderful time.
Oh dear. All right, We'll do this attack, and then we will do the roll. So we are trying to hit the vulture again. He missed again. Good. Fucking Dave. Then we're going to roll on the helping hand. Channel your inner Rocky, gaining temporary hit points and advantage on melee attacks. For 1 round, gain 5 temporary hit points and advantage on melee attack rolls. Okay. So that would take you to 6. And if I want to rush you in, I can do advantage on attack rolls. Got the eye of the tiger. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Wrong thing. Alright, so it's in Morena again. You've got 5 out of your 5 hit points. You've got, you both got 5 out of 5. So I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll swing for the vulture again. Hey, we killed him. That's a good fucking hit with that hammer. You're already dead. You're already out of the fire, so you're just going to attack. That's going to have attacked the vulture because I did that wrong. What is your AC? 11. Okay, so it's still a miss. Okay. The Mastiff is once again going to try and jump over this shelf. Has to be a 9. Got a 20. Okay, so he jumps over. He should have 30. Let's say that's like 5, 10. So let's say 10. He's going to try it again. Oh, that was a critical success. Okay, so he actually jumps and stays on top of this, which means he's going to have advantage attack rolls on Morena. And he does 6 damage. God, she's down to 3. She may die here. And if she dies, Dave's dying soon after, I can tell you that. All right, so you are just going to attack. Please miss, please. Oh my God, it's a crit fail. All right, so then we do 1d4 damage. He does 2 damage to himself. He kills himself. Silly orc. He stabbed himself in the face. All right, Dave. You're going to move up 1. You're still going to use your bow. You're not going to target your teammate. I know you have advantage on melee hits. There's very little use. Okay, he hit for 4. Doesn't kill them. Sorry, he hit for 4, so he's down to 1. Cake intervention? What's a cake intervention? Alright, so he's almost dead. Oh, you're gonna have a disadvantage on the dog. You wouldn't, because you're ranged. So I guess you're gonna swing. You're gonna swing at this guy. That's a miss. All right, we're going to give you a luck token because I think we might need that. That's going to be the divine intervention. So when she dies, I'm going to give you a luck token as well. We can at least res. All right, so you're just going to claw. I believe that is a miss. Excellent. The Mastiff is going to roll with advantage. Well, he definitely hit, and he hit for 3 damage, which I think is just enough to kill her. All right. She dies.
Hooray! I'm useful. I'm having a wonderful time.
All right. She dies. But she... I want to do a second wind. Okay, so she's down at 0 hit points. What do you want Second Wind to do? Bring her back on 1 or give her a roll for health as well? Roll for health. 2d6. Okay. All right, she's back up to 6. I like it. You're invested now. All right, so she is now back up, which is good. The Mastiff had their turn. Dave is going to target the Mastiff, because I believe he's still got at least 1 arrow left. Okay, he's got 2. Hey, 5 damage. I think that's enough. Hey, Dave killed something.
Hooray, I'm useful. I'm having a wonderful time.
Unless Rogu is about to save the Mastiff. Or do you just want a random roll, Rogu? You want to help the Mastiff? Okay. How are you helping the Mastiff? Let's see. The random roll would give the Mastiff. Okay, so Farah takes to the skies and raise down explosive. I need to get here because that jumps away too quickly. Down explosive ordnance on a targeted area. Deals 2d6 damage to all enemies within a 15-foot radius. We're helping the Mastiff, so with his dying breath. What I love about all of these helping hands is that you have to remember that it's Dave's scar, much like Harry Potter, kind of lights up and causes him a little bit of pain. And then suddenly he's being attacked by a lady with a jetpack firing down rockets. All right, so then I hope I can have more than one radius. Mod. Mods. All right, can I get this in a way where there's no friendly fire? No, there's going to be a little bit of friendly fire. They're already dead. All right, so it's going to hit all of these people, and it's 2d6 damage to all enemies. It's a DC 13. Okay, so then Dave is going to roll a dex check. Come on. That's an 8. He takes 2d6 damage while he's dead. Yep, perfectly. So, including his... temporary health. All right, Dave goes down. All right, you're going to do a dex check. You don't take damage. Okay, you're turning into the real hero of this. Dave may not even make it through his own adventure. I think Morena may be about to take up the sword and have the conversation with the lady in the sword. Dave does have a luck, so we can come back on 1, which is something at least. And then you also need to do a dex check. Come on, Dave. Even the badger doesn't take any damage. Even the badger missed it. Oh, Dave, you're such a Dave. Fucking Dave. We just had Dave's turn. All right, Morena, all you have to do is kill this fucking badger. Badger. Oh, wow, that was a critical success for 11. Okay, not only is the badger dead, the badger is just obliterated in a smeared bloody mess all over her hammer. She gets a crit, so she gets some XP. Badger's dead. Dave, I mean, the fight ends, so I guess technically I won't spend his luck. We'll move you over here so you can stabilize. You come back with 1. And we survived! Hooray! And then we're going to roll 1d6 for XP. We get 3 XP each. All right. Does that take you up a level? It does! Dave, even though we were shit, levels up. He's level 2, and then you also get 3 XP, which won't take you up a level. All right, and then we'll do a roll for treasure. All right, so Dave finds a golden bowl. Which was worth, how much did you say? 15 gold. Our slots are almost full though. Not really. We're going to want to try and sell those very quickly. And then Marina finds a dull dagger. Worth 1 gold. I'd feel ripped off if I were you. Oh dear. Okay. But we did win the fight in the basement. Hooray! Dave only died twice. Hooray! Yeah, so Marina is basically every settlement in Korbanik has a knight who acts as kind of mayor, lady, ruler of the city, but is obviously beholden to Grail City. Yeah, and is there to keep the peace. But as part of her character, she does not like being the mayor of such a small pissy village, and she wants to go on an adventure, which is why she is now willing to escort Dave to Grail City.